Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm vlogging today, so this makeup look may look familiar. But I'm doing my, it's hot in here. Oh. I am doing my foundation collection video today, and I did film this look. This is a purple halo eye, inspired by Valentine's Day. And I honestly love the way it turned out. I knew I wanted to do a purple halo eye, but I didn't know like what else to do with it. And the glitter on my lid looks so much prettier in person than it does on camera. Like I can't get over it. It's so pretty. We're gonna go ahead and get started because I've been filming for about an hour now. It's 7:18 p.m. and I am so sick of sitting in this chair. All right, if you guys saw my vlog, which should be up, it was my college, my life in a week vlog. You know that I did try to film this originally, but a stink bug landed on my shoulder and I screamed and I sounded like a dinosaur, and it's actually in the vlog and it is one of my favorite parts of the entire vlog, and I think it's just so, every time I watch it I laugh. It's just so funny. Like I need to be hired for the new Velociraptor and the new Jurassic Park movie because I'd be amazing. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully a stink bug doesn't interrupt me this time because that was honestly terrifying. But these are my foundations and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on them. So we're gonna start with these because they're the first ones in front of me. These are the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation in the shade Porcelain Ivory. I actually have a backup. This is brand new and this one is the one I've been using. But obviously if I have a backup, I love it. I love this foundation. It sits so beautifully on my skin and it literally does look airbrushed, and it gives you such a nice finish. I have dry skin and I have really sensitive skin, and so far Maybelline foundations are one of the only drugstore foundations that I have found that really don't irritate my skin. They work the absolute best on me personally. Obviously everybody's different, but that's just my personal experience. But yeah, I love these. They are amazing coverage. I would say medium to full. They definitely are buildable, and or you can layer them. And I love this foundation. I mean, obviously I have two of them, and this one, a decent amount is gone. If you can like see down in there, a decent amount is gone, and I absolutely love this. This is one of the foundations I think that I will always have in my collection, and if I run out, it's gonna be like devastating because it's just so amazing. My sister loves this as well, and she has oily skin, so maybe it's a foundation for everybody. I don't know, but I love it. Okay, Maybelline again. All right, these are the Maybelline Fit Me. I actually have both Fit Me's, but these are the Dewy and Smooth ones. They're the exact same. They're for normal to dry skin, SPF 18, and this one are in the shade 110 Porcelain. I mean, they are the exact same foundation, if you can see that. And this one's obviously open, and this one's another backup. I have gone through, I think this is my second or third bottle of this because it's just amazing. Now, I don't wear this for flash photography because of the SPF factor, but it looks gorgeous for day-to-day wear. I have used this, I think, in several tutorials, and majority of the time when I'm doing a talkative video like today, I'm wearing it. I'm actually not wearing it today. I'm trying out another foundation, but I also have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and this is also in the shade 110 Porcelain, and I have a complaint about this. They are two completely separate colors. You see that? Both 110 Porcelain, completely separate colors. So I was actually, this is my fault, but I actually went into the store expecting the shade ranges to match, and they didn't. So that was like really weird because they're both Fit Me lines, so I was expecting them both to match, but they didn't. This one's actually too light for me. If you can see that, it's way too light, and I have, I think, two or three foundations that are too light for me, and I'm usually like the lightest or second lightest foundation shade, and yeah, this one is too light for me, but I can make it work. But during the summer I can't really make it work at all. It just doesn't match. But during the winter I can make it work, and this hair is driving me crazy. And I use this most of the time on my sister because it matches her perfectly. But these do not come with a pump, which I hate. I know you could order a pump separately, but that's just too much effort. Like, I wish foundations all came with a pump. Like, I don't like them without a pump. But the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth Fit Me is probably one of my holy grail foundations. I will always have this in my collection because it's just, I know it's gonna look good, and it is a medium to full coverage. I am a full coverage person. Like, I like my full coverage, but I typically don't need a lot of coverage just because my skin hardly ever breaks out, and most of the time I just want to cover redness on my cheeks. So this is great for that if you don't have like a lot of problematic skin. Now, it doesn't show really any texture. I do have texture on my cheeks, and it doesn't show texture. It doesn't settle any fine lines. And I just love this. I love the Dewy and Smooth in particular. It's not so dewy that you look oily, if that makes any sense. Now, the Maybelline Matte and Poreless, I do like this to have dry skin. It doesn't cling to dry patches, but sometimes I think it might just be the color. It looks a little odd on my skin, and I'm not entirely sure if I love this. I'm gonna use it because I do have it and I did pay for it, and you know, I just don't want to like completely throw it out because I can wear it. It's just not my personal favorite, if that makes any sense. But I know this is a lot of people's holy grail. There's no SPF in here, so you could definitely wear this for flash photography, and it is a nice foundation. It's just not my personal favorite. Right, might as well finish the Maybelline, right? This is the Maybelline Dream Wonder Powder Foundation in the shade Light Ivory number 3. I actually really like this as a powder foundation. This is the only powder foundation I have, but most of the time I'm not wearing this as a foundation. I'm wearing this as a setting powder for my whole foundation, which I can do that because it doesn't look cakey, if that makes any sense. It's not such a thick powder that it looks cakey when you put it on top of another foundation. Now, I have worn this alone as a proper powder foundation. I do really like it. It does cling a little bit to dry patches because it is a powder and you're putting a powder all over your face. So that is really honestly expected, especially if you have dry skin. But if you have oily skin, you may like this a lot. I have taken pictures in this before, and it's more of a light coverage, I would say. Light to maybe medium if you built it up, but I don't know how that would work or look because I haven't personally done it. But yeah, it's not a bad foundation. Again, it's just not my holy grail, and I typically use it as a powder. All right, last Maybelline foundation. This is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse in the shade Porcelain Ivory. I like this a lot, even though it is a matte. I didn't like the, what was it? The one like the squeezy tube from the Dreamline. I didn't like that at all. But this one I really do like. Even with my dry skin, it's more of a satin matte. It's not completely matte, which I like. It doesn't feel like a mask. It doesn't like, you know, feel tight in any way. It's just a comfortable matte, which I really like. I don't really love that it's in a pot because I just take my makeup sponge and like dip it in there. Obviously, for using this on other people, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but I'm only using this on myself, so I don't really mind doing it. But yeah, another problem I have with it is it's in a pot, and this is like nitpicky, but I can't store it with my other foundations because it is like this, so it has to sit in my drawer, and so because it sits in my drawer, I don't really reach for it because I forget it's in the drawer. So I wish it was like in something like this, but I still like this. Right, this is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation in the shade 705 Ivory. I told you guys I didn't know how I felt about this foundation. I finally have an opinion. I hate this. I hate this. It broke me out so bad. So bad. My face became red and like rash like everywhere, and I'm so glad I had pre-recorded videos that I could upload because for like 2 weeks I couldn't film anything, and it was all because of this. And I had worn it before, and each time my face would look a little red, and I never put, you know, the pieces together until recently. So I will definitely be getting rid of this because I just can't handle it. I think it's because it's heavily scented. It really is. And I can use the Coty Airspun loose face powder, but I think it's because I can dust that off and it's not sitting directly on my skin, if that makes any sense. But I don't know, whatever is in here, it did not agree with my skin, and I will never put it back on because it was honestly horrible. Next is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Porcelain. This is another one that is too light for me, but I feel like the next shade down is going to be way too dark. But I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this, to be honest. It comes on a little paddle. It smells exactly like house paint, and sometimes it looks so good on my skin, and it's like, wow, full coverage, you know, you can't see anything, it looks flawless. And then when you get up close, it's like, ew. And I don't necessarily like that. You definitely have to have fresh exfoliated skin to wear this. I know it's a lot of people's holy grail, but I think it's just because maybe my skin type doesn't agree with this. I don't know. I don't love it. You know, I reached for things over this. I definitely don't. I know it's only like $5, but I haven't even gotten $5 worth use out of it because I hate it that much. And I think it might maybe be the color, maybe it's my skin, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. This is the foundation I'm wearing today. This is another foundation I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm wearing it again today to try it out for a final time. This is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade Light Ivory. Now, I bought this because everybody on YouTube raved about this, and I was like super excited, and L'Oreal is one of the more expensive brands in the drugstore, and I was like super excited. I was like, everybody talks about the True Match, and I'm gonna try it out, and honestly, I don't love it. I don't love it. I feel like it's nothing really to rave about. I feel like it's average. It's okay. I mean, it looks decent right now. I have some fallout from my glitter on my cheek. Let's just get rid of that. It looks okay right now, but it didn't cover everything. I mean, it's more like a medium coverage. I'm fine with the medium coverage, but last time I wore this, I remember my face like hurting the next day, like hurting, you know? And I don't know if it was because of this or not, but I'm trying it out for a final time, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. But so far, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not my absolute favorite, but it's also not the worst foundation I've ever used. So, I mean, it's meh.
It's moo.
Foundation that is like so light coverage, it's nothing. This is the e.l.f. Foundation Serum SPF 25. Now, I said that it's nothing as if it's a bad thing, but it's really not. Now, I do love my full coverage foundation, like I have said before, but this foundation I wear when I know I'm going to be out in the sun, and especially I go to the Indy 500 every year, and I'm actually going to vlog it this year for you guys, not only you guys, but my dad. So, you guys have that to look forward to. But I've also traveled with it before. I took it to Orange Beach, Alabama 2 years ago. I also took it this summer to Daytona Beach, Florida, because it's just so, I can swatch it. It's literally like a liquid. I'm almost out if you could hear that, but like it's literally a liquid, and you just blend it out, and it doesn't really cover anything. It basically just evens out your skin tone and gives you a nice like sheen. You see like a nice glow, and I wouldn't recommend it for, you know, like every day, or like not every day, for like photo shoots or events, but for like every day, it's absolutely perfect. My best friend's mom uses this because it's just something light, SPF, you know, it's comfortable on the skin. I don't have to set it, which is amazing. I can use this is actually the only foundation I have that I use my fingers for. And it's because it's just so liquidy, like a sponge would just soak it up, and a brush would just soak it up too. So fingers are amazing. If you don't like to look like you're wearing makeup, I would highly, 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 highly recommend this. And it's only like a couple bucks. I need to buy a new one because like it's practically empty. I personally really like this. It doesn't irritate my skin. It sits comfortably on my skin. Doesn't clean to dry patches. It's just perfect, especially for outdoor events. This is the Merle Norman CC Cream SPF 30. This one's in the shade Light Ivory. You could definitely use this in place of the e.l.f. one that I just talked about. But this is actually my favorite foundation, I think. And it's not technically a foundation. It's called a CC Cream, but it is so full coverage. It's a foundation. I've worn this in a couple of my videos. I can't think of which ones off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the video. If not, it'll be linked down below or something like that. But I absolutely love this. It does not irritate my skin. It matches perfectly. I don't have to set this either. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't clean, doesn't settle. Merle Norman is more of like for, I think the brand is more targeted for mature skin, but I personally really love it because it is all dermatologist tested, and I have really sensitive skin, and nothing from Merle Norman has ever irritated my skin. So if you have problems with a lot of makeup brands, I would check them out. I know Clinique is basically the same way, but I'm so fair that I can't find foundations to match me in Clinique. So I went to Merle Norman, and this one actually matches me, and I love it. This is the only like foundation type product I've tried by them currently. I'm planning on buying some new stuff and testing it out in a video for you guys, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. Stay tuned, find out. But I absolutely love this. I wear this all the time. I'm gonna buy a backup because like it is like halfway gone. You can't tell because it is like a pump squeezy tube. I love this, so you get like every bit of the product out. Like I said, I love this. It's just comfortable. It looks amazing. Now I would not recommend it for flash photography because it does have SPF 30, so I feel like it would just flash back. But because it has SPF 30, it would be perfect for day-to-day or outdoor events. I wear it with just a full face of makeup, and it looks amazing. I love this. I have two of the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundations, and then concealer. They actually launched lighter shades, which is awesome. Okay, so the original one I have is 01 Creamy Vanilla, and this was the lightest shade for a long time, but it is like way too dark for me. I wore this to both of my proms, a Luke Bryan concert. You know, I've worn this. I wear it all the time whenever I know I'm going to be sweating, or I know it's going to be super hot, or I know I need my foundation to last. I go for this. And I actually saw in Walgreens the other day that they came out with a lighter shade, and that is 00 Light Natural. And this one matches me almost perfectly. If it did not oxidize, it would match me perfectly. I wore this the first day I started vlogging, and I went to the park, and in like my room where I film, it looked amazing. But by the time I, you know, finished my makeup, went outside and all that stuff, it oxidized down my neck so much that like all the way down my neck was like orange. And it was like mind-boggling to me because it looked so good in, you know, artificial lighting, but in natural lighting it looked orange. So this one, 00, I have a real big problem with that. But the 01, it oxidizes a little bit, but it's not as noticeable. So I don't know if it was maybe just a combination of the products I used with this one, but I do really like this foundation. It's full coverage, it lasts all day long, no flashback, it is comfortable on my skin. It's like a satin matte almost. It does give you a glow, but it's nothing crazy. And I know people with oily skin who love this. I know people with super dry skin who love this. And the shade range is the biggest thing I have a problem with. It is one of the worst shade ranges I've ever seen from any brand. Like, I've definitely seen worse, but these are one of the worst because everything is just so yellow and orange. And so it's really hard for people to find their matches. This is the last one. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade L2 Mont Blanc. This foundation, everything I could ever want more. It is full coverage, dewy, it lasts all day, no flashback. It is so comfortable. My skin doesn't settle in any lines, doesn't clean any dry patches. Everything that I put on top of this works amazing. It's expensive AF. It cost me $50 for this foundation right here, and I absolutely love it so much. But because it is $50, I don't wear it very often because it is so expensive. But every time I wear it, I'm just blown away by the coverage, by the longevity, by just the way it looks. Like, if it's a foundation, if I'm going somewhere, an event, I'm going to my sister's wedding in August, and I already know this is the foundation I'm gonna wear. I don't know if it's gonna be the one I'm gonna use on her or not because it's so expensive, but I know it's gonna be the one I'm wearing. I would recommend the NARS foundation if you cannot find a shade in Sephora light enough for you. In my local Sephora, the NARS one is actually the only one that was light enough for me personally. So if you have problems with that, I would check out the NARS foundation range. But that is everything I have to share with you guys today. It is now 7:38. I've been filming for 20 minutes. I'm starving, so I'm gonna go eat. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I will see you in my next video.